Hi everyone. In various classification algorithms such as KNN, logistic regression, or any kind of classification algorithm, we may encounter with a common problem with imbalanced data set. So what is the imbalanced data set? That is the first question. Okay, so suppose we have a data set. We have a data set. Okay, and this data set is a kind of classification thing. So inside this data set, suppose we have a thousand point, okay, and out of this 1,000 point, 80% of the point is belonging to the one class, let's say positive class, and 20% of the point belonging to the another class, let's say negative class. So this data is a kind of imbalanced data, and if we are going to give this data to our algorithm, okay, so might be we can get a we cannot get a good result. Okay, so before applying any algorithm, we take care of this thing. Okay, it's very small thing, but I feel if you can do something with this kind of the if you're facing this kind of the problem, if you can apply the solution which I'm going to provide here, then might be you'll get a better result. So let's come to the solution for it. Hope you got the point. That is what is the imbalanced data set. Okay, now let's understand the solution. What we can do it if we have data that which is imbalanced. Let's do the simple solution for it. So there could be various approach, but one of the simple and elegant method is called undersampling, and another is oversampling. So let's discuss this thing one by one. First, we will discuss undersampling, then we will come to the oversampling. So idea is very simple. Suppose we have this data set, which is original data set, which we have. So from this data set, we are going to create another data set. We are going to create a new data set. Inside those data set, inside that data set, sorry, we are going to have, see, this is a 200 negative point. So this thing I will copy it directly. But for this positive point, I am going to take only 200 random point. So out of this thing, I'm going to take only 200 random point. Just I'm going to take random 200 point, and for the negative point I'm just doing the copy paste. I create my new data set. Now if you see this data set, we have 50% positive point and 50% negative point. That means what, our given data set is now balanced. But here is one problem. You can see it. So if you observe in your given data set, you have 1,000 data points. You do over undersampling and you got this new data set, but inside this data set you have only 400 points. That means what, you are losing 600 information. That means what, you are losing 600 points. That is not good idea. As we know that if we have a more data, we'll get better result. So this is not a good idea. So undersampling is not a good idea. So what we can do, we can go for the oversampling, and we'll understand how oversampling works, how we perform oversampling on the given data set. So now in oversampling, what we do, suppose this is your data set, this is your original data set. So you can see we have a imbalanced. Okay, so we are going to perform oversampling. So it's very simple strategy, not a too complex. So what we are going to do, we are going to take this positive class and we are going to just copy it. Okay, so suppose we have this data set. Okay, inside this data set we have 800 positive point and 200 negative points. So what we are doing, we are just copying this positive point 800. Okay, and for this thing, okay, for this data set we are going to repeat it again and again until what point, until when it is going to be the equal to the positive point. That means what, for this data set I'm going to repeat. That means what, I'm going to create lots of, suppose this is a data set geometrically, if you want to understand, suppose this data set is for negative. Okay, suppose only this 200. So I have to recreate data point, like one time, two time, three time, four time. So this one point will consider as a 4 points. So I have to repeat our data set 4 times to make this negative point equal to the positive point. So this is going to be the 800. So the simple strategy is what? We will keep all positive point, but for the negative point, we will repeat it multiple times to make it equal to the positive point. So in this case, we are going to repeat it 4 times. Now you got your new data set. Okay, now if you train this data set, you will get a better result as compared to the previous one. So you solve this problem. Apart from this two strategy, we have other also, like we have something called synthetic point or artificial points. We create lots of artificial point. Okay, so that strategy also we can use. So hope you got the two strategy, like how undersampling work and how oversampling work. So this is the idea about the oversampling, and previous one which I explained, that is the undersampling. Okay, if you have any problem, if you have any doubt, or if you have any feedback, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching this.